So this video is going to be another commander deck that I picked up in Japan. So this is counterintelligence from Edge of Eternities. So the lands in this are really cool. So hopefully I get some full art lands, but I don't think you're doing this. But obviously this one I'm pretty sure I'm going to be ripping apart just to take some of the key cards out of this to put into other decks because I now have too many commander decks. But yeah, we'll get started into this. And whilst I still sort of refine how I'm doing the content on this channel, this time I'm actually going to incorporate at the end scanning all the cards through to kind of give you a price that sinks into Card Kingdom, which is how I get all my prices for everything. So the prices being US, but Card Kingdom is pretty much how we measure all the prices of everything here. So these are still somewhat available in Australia to get quite easily at a decent price if you're not getting ripped off by one of the major retailers. But if you've got a local LGS, you can pick these up for anywhere between 75 to 100 bucks. But yeah, anything more than sort of 90 bucks, I wouldn't be paying for these for at the moment. But when we go into scan these as well, you get to see exactly what the value of these is as of today. So we'll get into the collector sampler at the moment. I don't know if it was coincidentally, but when I opened up the other two collector samplers, the cards actually linked in with the type of commander deck it was, but I think that was just a coincidence. So we got Sunstar Chaplain full art. He's a 1 and 1 white. Creature Human Cleric. He's a 3/2. So at the beginning of your end step, if you control 2 or more tapped creatures, put a 1/1 counter on each target creature you control. That's pretty cool, actually. 2 colors. Remove a 1/1 counter from a creature you control. Tap target artifact or creature. Oh yeah, so you can sort of on your end step before you go to the next turn. Well, actually, I don't know. You can do that at any point. So yeah, once it goes to the next person's turn as an instant, you can remove a counter and then tap one of their artifacts or creatures. So yeah, pretty cool. And then we've got an uncommon foil, which is a spacecraft. So the two, oh yeah, so I actually have this card. I have this running in my legendary creature deck. So yeah, he basically lets you proliferate, which is pretty cool. So whenever he's tapped, you can proliferate, and you could actually, yeah, there might be some sync with that, but nothing that I can think of off the top of my head. And you also get the legendary artifact spacecraft, so which is a station. For +1 at the beginning of your combat on your turn, put your choice of 1/1 counters on counter or 2 charge counters on up to 1 other target artifact. For an 8+, it's flying. So other artifacts you control have hexproof and are indestructible. Wow, okay, that's huge actually. That is wild. So a good artifact support card there for sure. I'm just going to separate the mythic and rare. I think we've got all the hits at the start. Man, there's actually heaps of rare mythic in this. Okay, so I do have a few of these cards actually. So not that I've picked this commander deck up before, but there must be a few cards that are quite common to pick up from this set. Tons of lands. All right, so that's all the rare mythic here. We'll just go have a quick look to see if there's any interesting looking cards. Card draw, another spacecraft. So yeah, add mana of any color. When you next cast an artifact spell this turn, that spell gains Sunburst, which is if it's a creature, it enters with a 1/1 counter on it for each color of mana spent to cast it. Otherwise, it enters with that many charge counters on it. This is another proliferate card. I do run this card as well in one of my decks. But then have a lot of some lands, some counter spell. Just trying to find some of the mythics, to be honest. A good board wipe with heal, 1 life for every creature destroyed that way. So a lot of board wipe, a few board wipes at least in this one. So whenever a permanent you control leaves the battlefield, if it had counters on it, put those counters on target permanent you control, and you can move counters wherever you like as well for mana. That is quite good. Alright, so here's our first mythic legendary creature, Phyrexian Horror. So it's a 2/2 blue. It's a 3/5, has flying. If you proliferate twice. Okay, so this is a huge proliferate deck. I don't actually have a proliferate deck, so maybe I'm building this deck out now. Or I might just steal this and make a full-on proliferate deck. So yeah, if you proliferate twice instead, and for 1 colorless and either 2 blue or 2 life, remove 3 counters from among other artifact creatures and planeswalkers you control. Put an indestructible counter on this creature. Yeah, cool. All right, that's pretty wild. So here's a huge engine. So we've got a 3 colorless, a red, and a white. And it's a legendary artifact creature golem. It's a 4/5. Other artifact creatures you control have haste. Whenever 1 or more artifact creatures you control attack, this creature deals X damage to any target, and you scry X, where X is the number of tapped artifacts you control. Interesting. That's 2 mythics. Any more? I mean, the only reason I'm going specifically into the mythics is if I go through all the rares, this video will go for forever. So it looks like there's only 2 mythics plus obviously the main characters. So that's the 2 ones. So massive push into proliferate in this, which is pretty cool. A lot of 1/1 counters. So now the rest of the video is pretty much just going to be I'm going to scan these up, see what they're worth. First of all, I'll just go through the rares and mythics. So already the rares are worth more than the mythics. So actually, I just saw the card Cloud Key. I can't remember what it does, but it's quite a good card, the Cloud Key. I think it might be a 1 less to cast creatures. You just identify what creature you want when that item enters into the battlefield. So with this as well, you can pick these up for about, I think I've actually seen this one for $70 at my local LGS. Swan Song is a good card. It's $12. The other mythic was only 80 cents as well, so if you're after proliferate, it's quite easy to pick them up for singlies. I'm getting pretty close to that target of. Should I just slow my. Getting pretty close to that target of 70. Well, I actually paid about $40 for this, so I'm well on the green. But again, if you're picking them up here, yeah, you'll get it for about 70 to $90. Safe to bet. The other good thing about picking up the Commander decks is you just get so many of the good staples like the Command Towers, Soul Rings, Arcane Signet. Well, it's quite debated about like how overpowered the Soul Ring is. Wow, Skycard Expanse is a $17 card. What was that? Is that double tap? Yeah. Alright, and then I wonder what that Skycloud Expanse. I mean, I have a few Skycloud Expanse. I just don't know why that one specifically is worth so much. Alright, and yeah, we'll actually do these. So yeah, you'll get your money back in your singles with this. There are the lands. Right, I'm just going to go through and scan the common and uncommons now. I won't worry about the lands. Oh, see, that uncommon's worth $3 on its own, which is better than the mythics. So there's your Arcane Signet, your Soul Ring, your Command Tower. Dispatch is a good card. Yeah, so don't just assume that the common and uncommons are not overly good. They definitely have some value. There's actually quite a few good cards in this deck. This is working out to be about the same as the Modern Horizons. The Ancient Den's good. That's an artifact land. Great Furnace, another artifact land. Another artifact land. Right, this will be the last of it. So this ended up being more valuable than the Modern Horizons deck. So it comes in 125 bucks, and then if we include our collector sampler, 50 cents, 35. Yeah, so that's not too bad. But yeah, there's a lot of proliferate ones in that. So again, going back to it, this is obviously the counterintelligence Edge of Eternity. So if you need some proliferate cards, this is what you want to go for. Quite powerful. So anyway, that'll do that video. Hopefully it wasn't too long. The next one we're going to be doing on the next video is the World Shaper. So Landsack. So I don't know how that one's actually going to work. I haven't seen what sort of cards are in this, but that's next. Thanks for watching. See you next time.